everybody, my name is Bragster and welcome back to TEW 2020 where we are in charge of Impact Wrestling. I'm laughing for a reason. We are off the back of possibly our worst show ever, and today is going to be possibly one of the worst produced videos I've ever done. I fucked up my recording. Woo! Go me. Right, story behind it, I tried to stream one of the days, and to fix that I found a way, and ultimately I put hotkeys to change scenes for when I stream. However, I put the hotkeys as things I press, as buttons I press on TEW, so when I was recording TEW it was switching between all the scenes. So I don't have a TEW video, so you won't have my first genuine reactions. This has obviously happened in the past with my camera. For whatever reason, I have now decided that I can't control OBS to save my life. So we are going to do this a bit differently, do not get me wrong, but I hope you still enjoy it. Now, we're going to go over a few things first. We have got TNT, the new Dudley boys, we got them. We got, let's look at the teams, because we wanted to bulk out our team. So we got Warhausen, which is a genuine tag team, by the way, but they're individuals, so that's fine. We got TNT, and then we've got the Voros brothers, or the Voros brothers, which is Chris Voros and Patrick Voros. So for whatever reason, they're both tag team specialists, but they've never teamed together, which is a bit unusual. But I got a face tag team in TNT, and I got a heel tag team in the Voros brothers, just to flesh out the division a little bit. I also got, you'll be happy to know, Serena Deeb. She wasn't picked up by AEW or NWA after so long, so I just decided it was my right to take her. I saw her on the list of free agents, and she's far too good. You'll see later in the episode why this was a massive coup for us, but it wasn't a humongous coup. The other big name, Jeff Hardy. It was put in the comments. Thank you for the person that put it in the comments. That comment helped me so much with not only the Jeff Hardy situation, but also what to do possibly with Jeff Hardy when he comes in. Jeff Hardy, no problems with drugs, no problems with alcohol, no nothing on the game at the moment anyway, so he's in a really good position, and that was a big worry obviously for me, and I'm guessing for you guys when you saw me about to sign him, but he is absolutely fine. So that was the big signing that you guys missed out on, the fact that I genuinely got him, and I'm really happy with it. He's on obviously won't be available for obviously this week's tapings, next week's tapings, and the one after that, but we had to plan quite extensively the next few weeks, just so we made sure we had some big matches on each card to rise everything up, and also I wanted to make sure that the storylines were going well, and I wanted to make sure that we could also build up people's momentum, which is why I needed some jobber tag teams. They're not jobbers, I know they're good tag teams, I know they are good. The Veros brothers are good, TNT are obviously good, they're part the new Dudley boys basically. I know they are good, and Serena Deeb, I know she's really good, but you need people that have very low popularity to lose to people with higher popularity who maybe don't win a lot of matches, or for storyline reasons aren't winning a lot of matches, just to keep their win-loss ratio a little bit better and just to keep their momentum higher. So enough of me talking, we're going to do this. Now, I'm going to do this very weirdly. I'm going to go into show history, and then I'm going to go into each match individually. I don't know how I'm going to edit it so it looks good, but just be mindful. I did come up with an issue, and I'm trying to make the best of it. So let's get into this. So we start off with Impact. On the pre-show, we had TNT defeat the Veros brothers. This was like a prove yourself match where I wanted just to see what the level was of these two teams. Veros brothers outperformed TNT, which is good because I have decent plans for TNT. TNT are a team that I had relatively good plans for, obviously down the line. The Veros brothers I wasn't too sure, so I wanted to check them out, and they ended up being very, very good. So for obviously their popularity and stuff, and the fact that they're very, very young. So yeah, this is just two teams that are going to be at the bottom, and I just wanted to see what they've got. So that was on the pre-show. Then we kicked off the show with Mick Foley. He told the Rascals that they have to withdraw. However, he's going to give them a chance to stay in the tournament. He wasn't going to risk Wentz, no matter what the doctor said. He wasn't risking him. He saw last week, he watched the match, and he said it was painful to watch, which makes up for the fact that that match wasn't very good. So he says it was painful to watch because of what you were going through. So I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to stay in, but I'm also going to deal with the Gotch and English, who probably deserve to be still in the tournament, and do what they did, what AEW similarly did with Penta and Phoenix in the AEW Championship tournament thing, where Penta just went straight through because Phoenix got an injury. Similar thing here, but I wasn't going to do that. I wanted to have like a proper match to earn it. And then Melina Perez and Tennille Dashwood. Now you must be thinking, well, they weren't in the tournament, why are they here? And Mick Foley references this. He's like, I overlooked you. I didn't put you into the tournament. I didn't see you as a viable tag team. You have proven to me over recent weeks that you did deserve to be in there, so I'm going to put you in there. So it's kind of being like, right, I'm giving an opportunity to everyone. Obviously, it will be Dez and Trey as well. So it will be a 2v2v2 match next, which is Melina Perez and Tennille Dashwood versus Gotch and English versus Trey and Dez of the Rascals. That match ended up being a 42 rated match where English and Gotch did end up winning. Yeah, it just ended up being that they won, and Trey also got attacked by Dominic Greene in this match. I think surprisingly one of the bigger performances was by Tennille Dashwood with a 41 rating in the match. She got the third best rating, obviously, after the Rascals, because the Rascals were obviously going to be better. But yeah, she helped them out a little bit. Melina and Aiden English were off their game apparently as well, which didn't help. But English and Gotch I felt was going to be a better match up against Austin and Fulton. Then we've got a 61 rated segment where Eric Young and Sami Callihan went out again, and they were like trying to boast again, but this time Callahan's hacking comes up and Eric Young's looking at Sami Callihan, and Sami Callihan looks confused as hell. Swan appears on the screen, Rick Swan appears on it, and he issues a challenge for next week. Swan versus Callihan, no rules. So yeah, basically a no DQ, no holds barred type match between Swan and Callihan will be next week. Yeah, I thought this was a cool little segment, and a 61 rating went along with that. Then we had a 47 rated segment where Stephen Amell creates a tag match where the rivals have to learn to get along so they can build momentum. Now, that means that Kairi Hojo will be teaming with Taya Valkyrie and Jordan Grace will be teaming with Peraza, and that will happen later on in the night. This is with the women's division at the moment. I'm finding it not difficult to book, but there's not many intense rivalries going on, is what I've noticed. So instead we're going to just almost play it off as if they're all trying to beat each other, because that's kind of how it's being at the moment. So yeah, which one of those teams picks up the momentum though, we'll have to find out. And then we have the X Division title match where Chris Bay defeated Danhausen in a 48 rated segment. Chris Bay with almost a main event caliber performance of a 53. Danhausen with a 26. Decent by Danhausen. He's never going to be the best, but he's such a good character to have around, and stuff almost similar to Crazy Steve, which is why I paired him with him. They will probably never be main event caliber, but they are so good and so valuable to the team. Chris Bay is just showing his levels at the moment. I genuinely thought that it would be Chris Bay, not Rick Swan, that they would push, the Impact were going to push to the moon to win that title. But it made sense in storyline reasons. But I do think Chris Bay will win it one day, and he probably will win it one day in my save as well if we carry on for a long time. Then we've got Stephen Amell. He sits down with Chris and Shamrock, and they decide what match. They decide that it's going to be a cage with weapons match. Shamrock obviously wanted a cage with his MMA background, and Chris obviously wanted weapons. He's been dominant when he's been able to use weapons, so they're going to fuse them rather than keeping them separate. They're going to fuse them, and Amell just said you can have whatever match you want. So that's the match they decide. Obviously, I couldn't have the match I wanted. The match I wanted was the Cage of Death match, which is infamous in CZW. But they wouldn't allow, on TV, I'm not allowed to use ladders, I'm not allowed to use barbed wire, and I'm not allowed to use thumbtacks. So I thought the best decision here was just to remove those, and obviously just keep it as a weapons, tables and cage match. Obviously it can be implied that they use them anyway, but they won't obviously use them. But yeah, that's something I've got to keep in mind when it comes to doing these shows, is I can't actually use a ladder, which is so annoying. But 45 rating, it'd be decent to know what match that's going to be, how good that's going to be anyway. Then we've got a 58 rated segment where Alex Shelley backs Chris Sabin. The main event will be Moose versus Chris Sabin, and Alex Shelley is pumping up Chris Sabin. He's like, look mate, you've got this. I can tell you now, you have got this. You can do it. And yeah, just really pumping up Chris Sabin and showing his belief in him and saying that he will be at ringside for that match. 58 rating, lovely stuff there. And then we have the tag team match where Deonna Purrazzo and Jordynne Grace defeated Taya Valkyrie and Kairi Hojo. And in this match, Jordynne Grace pinned the champ. It pinned Kairi Hojo with a fall from Grace. Incredible showing by Jordynne Grace. She dominated in this match. She got a 44 rating as well as Purrazzo. Taya Valkyrie with a 41. Kairi Hojo with a 53. Really, really good stuff here. Yeah, she just... It's like something has clicked in Grace where she knows she has to go to this next level, and she's just proven she can beat the champ. Obviously, yes, it was in a tag match, and as we've shown and stuff, not always pinning someone in a tag match results in you winning the title. It's never resulted in that so far, but obviously Alex Shelley could still do that. But it's... Grace has said before she won't move on to that title match unless she beats Purrazzo. So it just adds this element of almost this long-term story of, yes, Hojo's taking the pin, but Grace will not go for that title yet. Kind of proves to Valkyrie she's beatable as well. This is the first time Hojo's lost. I don't like undefeated streaks. I'm sorry, I don't like undefeated streaks. I don't like them. Unless they're organic. I do not like to build someone as undefeated. I just think it books yourself into a corner half of the time, unless, as I said, it's organic. But yeah, it felt like it was right to give Grace the win here, as it just shows that Grace is still a contender. Then we have a 45 rated segment where EC3 tells Myers he's now made it personal and he will stand with Heath. He will stand with Heath until the end. Yeah, now you've got the two teams squaring off. EC3 and Heath Slater, Brian Myers and Rhino. Incredible storyline kind of developing between these guys. I mean, it's a really good mid-card feud. It's just a classic mid-card feud, and adding EC3 in there just allows him to possibly pick up maybe some wins, pick up some momentum before going back up the card, because when someone drops down the card, similar to what I've done with Eddie Edwards, you really do need them to be in some sort of storyline to build their momentum back up. Otherwise you can just see them getting lost in the shuffle very, very quickly. Then we've got a 52 rated segment where Moose is being interviewed about the main event, and Miro tells him he doesn't have what it takes. He doesn't have what it takes to beat Chris Sabin. So Miro trying to get in the head of Moose. He's been doing it a few times with Moose recently, and he's trying it again. And Melissa Santos yet again in the middle of Miro and Moose. Just tension constantly building between them two. Could it prove to be a distraction though when Moose faces Chris Sabin? And then in the tag team tournament, we had the North defeat the Sons of Perfection. We had this as a technical masterclass, and it paid off in terms of in-ring performances. It didn't pay off in terms of segment rating, because you need to have the crowd not hot. You can't have them hot to do a technical masterclass, and they were. I'm not ever really sure where to use technical masterclasses now in terms of the card, because where would I put a technical masterclass on an Impact card where it's similar to the likes of NXT and AEW, where it's just non-stop all the time? It's a bit difficult for me to book those, but a 43 rated segment is still really good. I just wish I could have gotten more. Then we have a segment where the Good Brothers with Eddie Edwards, they have a bit of backup, demand to know what the hell is going on. Why is the Kingdom coming after them? And then you hear this. So yeah, then the Kingdom come out to the Aces and Eights music. They come out to it. Why? Burke just goes mental. Burke goes insane. He literally goes, "Did you not do what I told you to do? I told you to go home. I told you to find out why I'm angry at you. Yet you didn't seem to do that. You didn't seem to give me the respect to do as I tell you to." And I'm just quite pissed off basically at the Good Brothers. He goes, "Do you remember, does that music cue something in your head? Does that make you understand what we are doing right now? The last time I was here, you laid me out. You laid me out in front of the whole world of your little buddies. So I've come back with my own faction to take out you." So yeah, it's massive. He just keeps going, "Do you remember now? Do you remember now?" And he just goes mental. Burke just rips into him while the Aces and Eights music is just quietly playing underneath. Yeah, that is why the Kingdom is going after the Good Brothers, because Doc Gallows was in Aces and Eights, and the last time Burke was seen in Impact, Aces and Eights took him out. And who was in that faction at that time? Doc Gallows himself. So yeah, that is the angle that I'm so happy with the way this story's panned out, because I believe that is such good storytelling. You guys might think differently, but I believe personally that's really good storytelling by me. And yeah, results in the 49 rated segment. Then we have a 44 rated segment where TJP cuts a promo on Ace Austin, Madman Fulton and Miro, mainly Austin and Miro, where he says, "Ace Austin, you think it was a fluke. It wasn't a fluke. I beat you at the pay-per-view. I could beat you again. I know I can. I believe in myself now." And he goes, "And for you, Miro, if you come out as Impact Champion, whoever comes out as Impact Champion at the end of your match with Shelley, I'm going after you." So yeah, TJP, a fire is lit under him. He's going for that world title. Yes, TJP is going after the world title. And then the main event of the evening is Moose versus Chris Sabin. They stole the show for the title. Moose defeated Chris Sabin. Both got an in-ring rating of 54. Really good stuff here by the pair of them. Both great wrestlers. And yeah, to get a 58 at the end was just really good. I maybe wanted it to touch that 60 mark, but I'm really happy with a 58 nonetheless for a placeholder feud. That is a pay-per-view caliber match. To give that away on TV is quite special. the fact that the Motor City Machine Guns are this good just allows me to do this, and it works so perfectly in storyline reasons, especially with the, you know, tag team tournament. They have no tag teams to feud with, so I thought, why not? And it resulted in a 60 rated show. Really quality stuff here. Yeah, I believe this show was really good from top to bottom. We are back with a bang. Obviously, we've come back from one of our worst shows. We've now hit that middle mark between the 65 and the 55. We've hit that middle mark, which is where we should be, around that 60 mark. We did beat NXT with this. NXT got a 55, but we did not beat AEW. I think they got a 73 or something ridiculous. AEW are putting on some great shows at the moment, and they're not even doing those stupid TEW matches where they have all the main eventers in one match and that results in a massive rating. They're just doing, by the looks of it, organic storytelling, and it's surprising for TEW to be doing that, but they're doing it. But yeah, it resulted in the 60 rating, and we were so happy with it. We are back and back properly with a bang. So many different rivalries going on, so many different things, and they're all going in a positive direction here. And yeah, I just hope you guys are happy with it personally, because I believe that was one of my better book shows, like from top to bottom. Everything is showing a next step in their rivalries. So yeah, I was happy with that. And then we moved on into Explosion, where for a 42 rating, Mitchell confronted Stephen Arm out, and he wanted Havoc and Bravo to face each other one last time. Normal singles match, no shenanigans, and it was granted. It was like, look, you're allowed it, but I can't have you at ringside. And then Rosemary and Ty Valkyrie are a bit more happy than they were when it was first announced, but then they were told they were also bad from ringside. This had to be a straight up match between the two, and that will main event the show. Then we had Rick Swan versus Brian Cook. Brian Cook is another wrestler that I brought in, as is almost a jobber sort of guy, but he's a really good wrestler. Got some really nice stats that I do believe can develop over time. This resulted in a 36 rating match where Rick Swan got a 44, Brian Cook got a 17 rating. Rick Swan and Brian Cook had apparently had really good chemistry between the two, which I was obviously chuffed with, and it resulted in a better match than I thought, and it gives Rick Swan a win just before his no DQ match with Sami Callihan on Impact. Then we had a 42 rated segment where Kylie Ray is with ODB preparing for a match, and ODB is like, right, remember what you did last week, you've got to show that fire, you've got to show more fire than ever before if you stand any chance of beating Su Yung. And the lights go out, you hear some scuffling, and ODB is laid out on the floor with next week across her chest, written across her chest in blood. Obviously Su Yung has done that, as you hear her laughter echo throughout the corridors, and Kylie Ray is pissed. She's like holding ODB, she gets medical staff, and then she's ushered to her match by obviously the staff behind the scenes, and Kylie Ray's like, I'm going to do this for you, I'm going to do this for you. So the fire is lit under Kylie Ray, like a lot of people at the moment, and that results in Kylie Ray defeating Serena Deeb. Kylie Ray got a 34, Serena Deeb got a 32. Serena Deeb has about 15 pops, so that's really good by Serena. 32 rated segment. Really good stuff between these two, nothing fancy, just a straight up simple match, but Kylie Ray showing some more anger. So it's just, yeah, she's just showing a lot more in her, and she won with a crossface as well. She won with a submission against Serena Deeb, who is known for her technical wrestling, and it's just this, yeah, I can't find any other word other than this fire lit under Kylie Ray. She's doing brilliantly at the moment. Then we have a 45 rated segment where Crazy Steve is with his friends, well, with his new friends, and they see Rosemary. Crazy Steve approaches Rosemary, obviously Decay, and then Steve tells Rosemary to remember what they learnt together. They remembered one thing: to choose their friends wisely. That's all he says. It's just choose your friends wisely. He said, I've chosen these wisely. and that's what I have learned from being with you in Decay. You've got to have learnt the same thing. Do not forget the principles we learn. So yeah, just this cryptic-y sort of promo by Crazy Steve and this weird interaction between them two. Then we have a 25 rated segment where Rohit Raju wants a match next week, and he wants the ROH Open challenge next week, probably on Explosion. I can't remember what it was called. I think it was called the ROH Open challenge, but do correct me in the comments down below. But that will be happening next week. Who he's facing, even I don't know yet. I'll make it up as I go along. I usually do. Then we've got a 35 rated match where Dominic Greene defeated Glen Gilberetti. Gilberetti is like a road agent for us. He can take a loss here and it doesn't really hurt him at all because he's not an actual wrestler on the roster, and it gives Dominic Greene a little bit of momentum moving forward. So Dominic Greene got 38, Glen got a 27, and it resulted in a 35 rated match. Decent stuff here, and just gets a win under Greene's belt. Then we've got a 52 rated segment where Tommy Dreamer finds RVD backstage and tells him that he can play dirty too, and he hits him with the kendo stick over and over and over again. Rob Van Dam is just laid out on the floor. Katie Forbes is consoling him as the kendo stick is just shattered all over his body and is just laid out on him, and then Tommy Dreamer just walks off, kind of sending a message to RVD that if you want to play games with me, I can play more. So yeah, really good stuff here in the 52 rated. Then we have a 33 rated segment where Havoc defeated Johnny Bravo. In about 10 minutes, we're in a 33 rated match where Havoc had a 41 in-ring performance. Johnny Bravo had a 23. Decent stuff here, no shenanigans of course, but after the match there was, where Havoc destroyed Johnny Bravo, put him through a table, opened up the canvas at the side of the stage to just opened up the concrete and power bombed him on it, completely laid out Bravo. He was getting tended to by medical staff. James Mitchell obviously came out because the bell rang, so the match was over, so they could come out and help, but no one else helped. No one helped Johnny Bravo. Ty Valkyrie wasn't there, Rosemary wasn't there, nobody was there to help Bravo, and that is how we ended Explosion. Yeah, I'm really happy with how both of these shows panned out. I hope you guys are too. Put anything down in the comments down below where you want me to go with certain storylines. Do you like the direction I'm going with certain storylines? Where you really want me to, what you want me to do with Jeff Hardy? That would be nice to know. I have an initial plan for Jeff Hardy, but where can I go from there? It would be nice to know. And just, yeah, if there's just anything you want to tell me, do put it in the comments down below, because the comments always help me. They always help me to develop better shows, and my shows are getting better and better over time, and the more stuff you guys pitch to me, the more I start to develop certain stuff. So yeah, I'm really happy. Hit that like button if you like this video, although it is probably a calamity to watch because it's not as interesting as seeing my initial reactions, but I try my best. I won't muck it up next time. Trust me, I'm starting to really get to understand all the different programs I'm using. Obviously, I'm still reasonably new to this. I haven't even been doing this a year yet, so there will be issues like this, but they should be very rare nowadays. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed it, so please hit that like button. It really does help me out, and it does make me feel better as well, especially when I muck up a video like this. If you're new here, please do subscribe, as the content does get better than this, and check out my other stuff on the channel as well, as there's a lot to check out. And yeah, I shall see all of you guys in the next video. See ya!
Hey!